And thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. The threat of a North Korean nuclear attack is growing after the regime launched another missile Friday. And as CBN's Jenna Browder reports now from Washington, the Trump administration is ready to play hardball.
As tensions continue to rise with North Korea, the Trump administration says the United States is ready to defend itself and its allies with military action.
We've pretty much exhausted all the things that we could do at the Security Council at this point.
U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley making it clear over the weekend the U.S. isn't backing down from its threat of using the military if necessary, saying she'd be glad to hand over the situation to the Secretary of Defense.
I'm perfectly happy kicking this over to General Mattis because he has plenty of military options.
This comes as world leaders, including President Trump, head to New York for the annual General Assembly. On Friday, North Korea launched a missile over Japan into the Pacific Ocean, defying new UN sanctions, banning some of its key exports, and capping its imports of crude oil.
It is a new day at the UN.
Asked about the president's statement that the U.S. could respond to North Korea with, quote, fire and fury, Haley says it was not an empty threat.
If North Korea keeps on with this reckless behavior, if the United States has to defend itself or defend its allies in any way, North Korea will be destroyed. And we all know that. And none of us want that. None of us want war.
National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster says it's time to stop kicking the can down the road because the U.S. is running out of road.
This regime is so close now to threatening the United States and others with a nuclear weapon that we really have to move with a great deal of urgency on sanctions, on diplomacy, and on preparing, if necessary, a military option.
To add to the tension, there's now reports North Korea is developing a nuclear-powered submarine. The Washington Times quotes a Japanese report that the vessel could potentially be used to launch a ballistic missile into international waters and threaten U.S., Japanese, and South Korean missile defenses. In Washington, Jenna Browder, CBN News.
The Trump administration is considering shutting down the recently reopened U.S. embassy in Cuba. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said that decision comes after a series of unexplained health scares for American diplomats in Havana. More than a dozen diplomats have reported having permanent hearing loss, concussions, headaches, and difficulty concentrating. Cuba has denied any involvement but says it is eager to help the U.S. resolve the matter. Another hurricane is bearing down on the Caribbean. Hurricane Maria is on course to pass close to several islands already devastated by Irma. This is going to happen in the coming days, including in the area of Barbuda and St. Martin. Then it is expected to head for Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti. Forecasters say the Category 1 storm will grow more powerful. CBN's Operation Blessing is in overdrive, helping victims of Hurricanes Irma and Harvey. The ministry has helped more than 28 cities in Texas and Florida with relief supplies and volunteers to help clean up the damage. They're also bringing spiritual aid and comfort to the victims. So far, Operation Blessing has mobilized more than 5,000 volunteers in Texas alone. Peaceful protests in the city of St. Louis this weekend turned violent at night. During the day, hundreds marched peacefully in protest of Friday's acquittal of a white police officer who killed an African-American man in 2011. At night, though, those protests take a destructive turn, with downtown storefronts damaged, even breaking windows at the mayor's home. Police and protest organizers say when the peaceful protesters go home, the violent ones take over.
The unruly crowd became a mob.
They have a right to protest, but protest like peacefully. There is nothing to do with the small businesses.
Clashes between the nighttime protesters and police left nearly a dozen officers injured. More than 40 people have been arrested so far. The U.S. Supreme Court returns to work next month, and as Paul Strand reports, once again, justices will hold the future of precious freedoms in their hands.
It seems controversies over our religious liberties are popping up more and more all the time. And these being the times they are, that means inevitably they're going to end up before the courts, even the nation's highest court.
These legal experts looked at some of those likely cases, such as the one involving the Masterpiece Cake Shop. The state of Colorado punished baker Jack Phillips for refusing to make a cake celebrating a same-sex wedding. His side is represented by the Alliance Defending Freedom.
The Supreme Court has said that the free speech clause protects all kinds of speech, and that includes artistic expression. Jack's cakes are art. His masterpiece cake shop has been referred to as an art gallery of cakes.
There's a similar case involving a same-sex wedding and a Washington state florist.
In fact, in this case and also in Arlene's Flowers, Jack Phillips and Barronelle Stutzman would in fact serve and sell products to LGBT customers. He would have even sold custom cakes provided that it was not expression that was going to be part of the same-sex wedding.
But Louise Melling of the ACLU characterized the case as a clear-cut example of discrimination.
It's hard for me to understand how a same-sex wedding isn't about same-sex people, which is about sexual orientation.
Are we, as a society, going to turn every observant Christian, Jew, Muslim into a member of the KKK? I mean, is that how we want to handle this tension in our society?
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court may decide September 25th whether it takes up a California law that critics say bullies pro-life pregnancy centers. Wagner says the case asks if those anti-abortion centers
can essentially be forced to refer for low-cost abortions, to notify those women who they're trying to help that they could seek an abortion through a state program. And that's unconstitutional. You can't force people to engage in that kind of speech.
Court watchers believe if the High Court takes the case, it could likely mean victory for the pro-life pregnancy centers because the justices often side with free speech.
There are very stiff penalties that are in place under this California law, and we've seen other states, other courts that have struck down these kinds of laws, but California continues to persist in really trampling on the free speech rights of those who are involved in pro-life issues.
So as in most years, the Supreme Court's going to take up at least one big religious liberty case, and maybe even several. Paul Strand, CBN News, Capitol Hill.
Paul, thank you. Former Muslim turned Christian evangelist Nabeel Qureshi died Saturday after a year-long battle with stomach cancer. Qureshi was born and raised in the U.S. to a devout Pakistan Muslim family. Before the age of 5, he had already read the entire Quran and could recite several chapters from memory. Eventually, after having several prophetic dreams and studying the Bible in college, he turned to Christ. He earned several degrees in Christian apologetics and became a world-renowned evangelist through Ravi Zachariah's ministries. Last year, he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of stomach cancer. While the cancer may have taken away his life, Qureshi hopes his message will live on.
As you consider my ministry, I hope it leaves a legacy of love, of peace, of truth, of caring for one another. That's my hope and my purpose behind this.
Nabeel Qureshi leaves behind a wife and a young daughter. Women are waiting longer than ever to start a family, but if they wait too long, it can be more difficult to get pregnant. Now they have another alternative. As Lori Johnson shows us, the technology of egg freezing can slow down the biological clock.
Ashley Skidmore is a 24-year-old writer living in Los Angeles. Biologically, this is the best time for her to have a baby, but that doesn't exactly fit with her lifestyle plans.
I definitely want to have kids someday. 10, 15 years, maybe. I mean, I've got a career to take care of first, before I can take care of a human being.
She's not alone. The number of women waiting to start a family until after age 35 is up 150% since the 1970s.
A demanding career isn't the only reason women put off trying to get pregnant. The main reason is they just haven't found Mr. Right.
Sadly, when many of these women are ready, their eggs are no longer viable. Dr. Jeffrey Steinberg is a fertility specialist.
Women are most fertile from basically the time they get their first period up until about the early 30s. There's a definite decline in the fertility rates at age 35, and there's a drastic fall off the cliff at age 40.
Not only is it more difficult to conceive as a woman ages, the baby's health can also be affected. The good news is a woman can now beat the biological clock by freezing her young, healthy eggs.
It's a simple procedure. There's no incisions, there's no cuts. It's all done with ultrasound guidance. Takes about 30 to 45 minutes, does not hurt, and the woman is back to her normal activities the next day.
Her eggs are stored in liquid nitrogen until she's ready to use them.
We've become very, very good at accurately predicting that the eggs will make it through the freeze and the thaw process and even onto a baby.
This practice has led to the births of an estimated 2,000 babies.
Before we do these procedures, we do some basic blood work on women that give us very important clues that the eggs are in good shape.
Unfortunately, some of them are not in good shape because the woman waited too long to try to freeze them.
But the problem is, in the late 30s, they haven't got near the chance that they have in the early 20s. So it's a terrible dilemma for us. We wish they would have come in sooner.
Elizabeth Higgins Clark got the message.
I'm so glad I did it.
The Hollywood actress froze her eggs in her 20s.
I started realizing that I knew I wanted to have children. I've always wanted to have children, but I knew that I wasn't close to being ready to have children.
She says her decision relieved the anxiety that's so common among women her age.
There's something about it that makes me feel like I'll never have to make a decision out of fear, and that's the best part of it.
The price of egg freezing runs between $9,000 and $15,000. Since most 20-somethings don't have access to that kind of money, fertility clinics typically offer financing with monthly installments about the same as a car payment.
Some companies like Apple and Facebook offer insurance plans that cover egg freezing. So for women hoping to get pregnant later in life, freezing their eggs early on could improve their chance at motherhood. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Up next, actress Sam Sorbo has a real-life lesson to inspire you and your children. Sam Sorbo can say she defeated Hercules as the leading lady in the hit TV series. She ultimately married Hercules in real life. I'm talking about actor Kevin Sorbo. Sam is a wife and mother, and she's helping other parents navigate the school year. I sat down with her in Studio 5. Let's begin with the film Let There Be Light. How was that birthed? I know it came from you when I talked to your husband months ago. He mentioned it. What happened?
The genesis of the film is really an incredible story.
How can you take something as intensely private as the death of their brother and use it as part of your carnival act?
I had the idea for this film, like the world's greatest atheist has a near-death experience that challenges his whole worldview and all of his suppositions, his assumptions about life and everything. And he's this guy whose mantra is party on, you know? So I went to a friend who's a screenplay writer and I said, hey, would you consider writing a screenplay with me? Because I knew that if I wrote it, it wouldn't go anywhere because I'm nobody. He said, you know what, we haven't seen each other for a while, let's have lunch. So we had lunch and I told him the idea. And I got into it a little bit more than that and he was like, he was intrigued. He said, I like it, we'll write it together. I was like, fantastic! And then 2 weeks later, out of the blue, Sean Hannity called Kevin and said, I want to fund a movie, a faith-based movie with you. What have you got? And so this film is just, it's a miracle. This is the movie that I wanted to make.
How does it feel to be opposite your husband again?
Well, I've done a lot of projects opposite Kevin, not for this length of time. What was interesting was being a producer on the set that he's a director on. So this was really a family project. You know, we live in the secular world, we live in this material world, and we forget, in a sense, about the whole spiritual, what's happening behind the scenes that we don't see.
God's hand at work. Speaking of God's hand at work, I think he speaks to us through your latest book. I love it as a parent. It's Teach from Love.
Right.
It's a devotional.
Right.
Tell me about what made you decide we needed to hear this. I love that, just daily getting up with the kids and getting it together and going through this. So what drove that for you?
It probably started 8 years ago when I realized I needed to educate my children at home. And they were not being served by the public schools. They were being disserved by the public schools. And I thought, well, maybe I can do better. But I had a lot of self-doubt. And I brought him home for just the semester. And even Kevin was like, well, you can try it, but I don't know. I brought him home and my relationship with them grew by leaps and bounds. And I realized that, you know, God gives us our children their gifts. And we're really called to dive into that And so I encourage parents to explore that. I wrote my first book, They're Your Kids, to encourage parents in educating their children at home, not because it's about education, it's about the relationship. And your relationship with your children is a mirror of a relationship that God has with you. And if you want to instill godly values in your children, you need to show them your relationship with God and have that relationship with them. We expect our kids to learn sort of osmotically that, oh, you do the right thing and you donate to charity and whatever. But if you don't see your parents donating to charity, looking at charities, choosing which charity or whatever, and you don't have that discussion with them, are you going to be somebody who donates to charity when you grow up? I don't know, you know. So I put it together in a cute little book. It's a little devotional, two godly characteristics per week, because we want to encourage our kids to have those, and frankly, because maybe for ourselves too, we could always use a little tune-up.
Absolutely. What's the biggest takeaway you want people to have in terms of educating and building that relationship with kids? Because many think you drop your kids off at school, you pick them up, and that's it.
You can do more at home, have a greater relationship with your child, have more me time because you're not dancing to the beat of the school. And I grow my relationship with my child, which I find invaluable, right? My calling now is to show people that there is darkness, but there's an answer for the darkness.
Absolutely.
And that is the light.
Absolutely. Thank you for helping us turn on the light.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you. And Sam Sobro's book is called Teach from Love, a school year devotional for families. It is available wherever books are sold. Stay with us. There's much more of CBN NewsWatch straight ahead. Coffee is growing more popular in China these days, especially among young people. More coffee shops are springing up in the capital city. One coffee shop owner uses his customers' love of coffee to share a life-changing message. Mengfai Li has this story now from Beijing.
If you could choose one color to describe your city, what would that be? For Beijingers, the color is yellow. Everywhere you go in Beijing, you see these lovely yellow bikes. They've become the hottest attraction in this modern city.
1 year ago, when those bikes were first introduced to China, many Chinese felt strange and unfamiliar. Today, those bikes have become the most important and convenient transportation for the nation.
Everywhere I go, I enjoy riding the bikes. They sure make our lives easier. And the bright color just makes Beijing to be more attractive and modern.
And there's something else the bikes are being used for: delivering coffee in Beijing. Wei Hanye is a native Beijinger. Since 19, he devoted himself into the coffee business. For so long, he was fascinated by the unique smell and delicious flavor.
The first time I tasted coffee, I was drawn to the flavor. It's something I had never tasted before. Starbucks was still new to China back then. Chinese people didn't understand how to appreciate this Western drink.
Wei was determined to learn more about coffee. He learned how to make it and came up with his own unique recipes.
I was so eager to pursue my own passion, but it was not easy. When I faced setbacks, I was frustrated. I knew I could do it, but somehow couldn't make it right. It seemed like something was missing.
Wei began spending more time away from his family. His wife felt he was no longer dedicated to the marriage and their children. Then one day, Wei met a Christian friend and shared his frustration and concerns. After a long talk, Wei realized what was missing. He became interested in going to church, and he made a decision.
The same day, before going to bed, I gave my life to Jesus. I wanted him to help me to become a successful coffee maker. I couldn't do it alone.
Wei took the opportunity to open his own shop in one of the most popular areas of Beijing. His business grew, and he started riding a bike delivering coffee to his customers.
It's like God suddenly opened a faucet. People started to come to my coffee shop. I was overwhelmed by blessings and provision. He taught me so much over the years.
Being the coffee shop owner more than 10 years, Wei was grateful about what God has provided for him. Gradually, he began to invite his customers to listen to his story, as well as encouraging young people in China to know about Jesus Christ.
People always ask me how I became successful today. It's important for them to hear my stories. It's not about me. God did it for me.
Every Friday night, Wei holds Bible study at his coffee shop. He is not afraid of people asking questions. He's passionate about sharing the gospel with everyone who comes in.
Wei is a great teacher. He's very patient when explaining different books of the gospel to us. His stories about God touched me.
Trying to make a living in large cities like Beijing and Shanghai, it's not easy. Wei sees more Chinese millennials are flooding to Beijing to pursue their dreams. He's planning to open up more coffee shops around the nation. The purpose is to invite more coffee lovers to his store and give them a chance to know how great his God is.
Being successful is not easy, but everyone has the opportunities to achieve their dreams by knowing God and following His principles.
Mengfei Li, CBN News, Beijing, China.
It is time now for your Monday motivation, and as you begin yet another week with probably many things to do, consider this: the journey is not only about reaching the destination, it is about the process. In the process, God is preparing you for what's next, and you don't want to miss a single step. So enjoy the journey and enjoy the process, knowing God is working and preparing you for what's ahead. With that word, be sure to make this a marvelous Monday. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. We thank you so much for your company. Remember, you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about always at cbnnews.com. We'd also love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today or any day for that matter. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. You can also reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We certainly would love to hear from you. We hope you'll join us again right here next time. Make this a marvelous Monday. We'll see you right back here come tomorrow. Goodbye and God bless.